What's going on, Bears fans? Before we jump into today's Bears mailbag, where you guys submit your questions and I answer them, follow me on Instagram. We are closing in on 3,000 followers. I'm at 2,941 as I film this. Once we get to 3,000, I'm going to cook up another Bears Instagram Live. I would like to do one before the NFL draft, talk some prospects, kind of, take a closer look, deeper dive into what Ryan Poles and company might do. So follow me. You can always ask me your questions over there as well. At HGrahamNFL, 60 away, less than 60, 59 to be exact. Give me a follow, and then we'll answer all of your questions. All right, welcome into the show. I'm Harrison Graham. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and appreciate you guys for submitting your questions by either sending #Bears or by super chatting. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Funkbringer, in another universe where we could trade up for Olave, then he and Fields ball out like Burrow and Chase, do you think this would change the face of the draft going forward? Like, would this become a theme of drafts where, like, you team up receivers with their college quarterbacks? Or do you mean with the Bears specifically? I'll go through each scenario. If you're talking about changing the face of the Bears, then absolutely. You get Chris Olave in here. That would be, I think, a game changer with Justin Fields. But there's a lot of good receivers in this draft. Would this be a common theme for drafts moving forward? I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, the Burrow-Chase one was so unique that they went from picking top 5 to going to a Super Bowl. So I don't think that would happen all the time, but you never know. Wolfram 37, is there any names you're keeping an eye on with the remaining free agents? Yeah, a little bit. Eric Fisher's a name I'm monitoring. I think he could come in and play left tackle, which, by the way, at Bears minicamp, Tevin Jenkins started at right tackle, Larry Borom at left. They don't think Larry Borom's a starting caliber left, and if they're going to keep Jenkins at right, then Eric Fisher could come in and be a starter. So I think that's something to monitor, so keep that in mind. Martin Melhuse, how about picking up Araiza in round 5 or 6? But he might be gone by the 6th, and he is a uniquely excellent punter. He's the best college punter I've ever seen. I mean, the guy had multiple 80-yard punts, and they weren't like on just crazy bounces. Like, he can just absolutely launch the ball as a punter. If the Bears had less needs, I'd say draft him in the 5th round, but I don't know if you can do that. I wouldn't completely hate it because you know what you're getting. You know you're getting a damn good punter that's going to start every single Sunday, but it is a punter, so you got to factor that in. Chris Osby, should the Bears trade their number 39 and Qunn to the Browns for 44 and 78? So you're moving down 5 picks, picking up 78 by giving away Qunn. Yeah, you're moving down from 39 to 44. You're picking up a 3rd. So you're kind of trading Qunn for a late 3rd, essentially, because you're moving down in round 2 and picking up a late 3rd. I don't hate it, but you're getting an extra day 2 pick. I don't know. How about you keep 39 and you just trade Qunn for 78? I don't think you have to move down. I think that's fair. Bear Downs 97, what are your thoughts on taking Dane Rosenthal from Kentucky and Mike Rose from Iowa State in the 5th or 6th round? I know Rose better out of Iowa State. Both day 3 guys. Look, you get into day 3 on the draft, it's really, you can go one of 2 ways. Guys that you think can contribute right away on like special teams, or more project guys that could become starters, kind of boom bust type of players that fall into day 3 for various reasons, bad combines, character concerns, lack of experience, whatever the case may be. Those are kind of your 2 strategies, but I am fascinated to see kind of what we learned from Ryan Poles on what those strategies are. John Robinson, is there a chance the Bears trade into round 1 on draft night, and if so, for what player? We answered a similar question on our other mailbag. I do think there's a chance. I think it's one Smokin' J, small chance. These are 3 names that I would consider trading up for if they fell like late into round 1. I'm talking 25 or later. Treylon Burks, the receiver out of Arkansas. Zion Johnson, the offensive lineman out of Boston College. Tyler Linderbaum, the center out of Iowa. Sure, Chris Olave, but he's not falling to the mid-late 20s. Better chance he goes top 10 or 15 than falls to 25. So I didn't even include him here. But sure, if he falls, then obviously he would be on that list. These are guys I would consider trading up for, but you'd have to really feel good about whatever that player is, about kind of changing the direction of a franchise. And no draft pick is guaranteed, so I still think it's unlikely. Now, name a player that you would trade up for. You're in charge. You like a player, but you don't think he'll fall to 39. Who are you trading up for? Let us know in the comments who that draft prospect is. Trey Talk, I know there is not a high chance, but how many smoking Jays that Chris Olave falls to Chicago to team up with Fields? If this happens, I would lose my marbles. His chances of falling to 39, I would say, are very close to zero at this point. Every mock draft now has him going like 16 at the worst, 17. He's pretty much a top 20 lock, unless some injury occur in workouts. Like, we saw David Ajabo get hurt at his pro day. We obviously hope that does not happen. Does some skeletons in the closet emerge, that forces him to, fall off team's draft board. I mean, it would take something catastrophic for him to fall to the Bears at 39. Mark Sarukonian. We likely won't get impact players with the remaining free agents out there. We just need bodies. Thoughts on bringing back Marquise Goodwin? He has speed, and the price will be right. Yeah, one-year vet, man. I'm totally fine with that. Number 4 type of receiver, round out the roster type of signing. I disagree that you can't find guys that can impact. Like, I think Eric Fisher would be an impact player because he would start at left tackle. I think if you wanted to sign Tyrann Mathieu, he would be an impact player. There are guys out there. It doesn't mean they're going to go get them. But if they wanted to, they could. But, yeah, I think Goodwin on a cheap one-year deal as a depth receiver would be perfectly fine. Justin Donahue, do you think Justin Fields actually wants out, or is that false? It's completely false. It's a made-up story. It's fabrication. It was more of an idea. Yeah, fake news. Zero smoking Jays. Someone said, I think his name's Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated, Justin Fields should demand a trade. No, we shouldn't. It's a ridiculous idea, and it's not true whatsoever. Follow us on Rumble. We crossed 500 followers, trying to get to 1,000 as soon as possible. Daily Bears news and rumors videos over there. Some exclusive content. Plus, you can listen to our episodes while using other apps. You get a text message while you're watching this video. You don't have to pause it. You can click into the text, respond to that person. Video is still going to be playing, so you're going to be able to hear what we're breaking down around the Chicago Bears. You can use it podcast style like that, and that's not the case on YouTube. So it's a nice benefit of Rumble. Rumble.com/Bears. Now, go give us a follow over there. Tyler Coffey, what would you trade for Terry McLaurin? What would I trade, or what is proper value? I mean, I'd probably trade both my seconds for him, but I still think Washington would say no. Both seconds and a third next year, maybe? Something like that. A second this year, a second next year, and a third this year, two twos and a 3. I don't want to trade a future first, I don't think. Now, if it happened, I'd probably talk myself into it because you're getting a stud of a receiver and you're going to sign him to a long-term deal. But I'm just kind of projecting what Ryan Poles wants to do, and he wants draft picks, so keep that in mind. Amos Goldberg, Green Bay drafting Desmond Ridder. That'd be weird if they did. I would hope they learned from the Jordan Love error. But I do like Ridder better than Jordan Love, so you never know. If you think Aaron Rodgers is going to retire after this year and Jordan Love's not the answer, then sure, you could if you're Green Bay. But, hey, we should hope that they do, that they waste a first-round pick on another backup quarterback. Nixon Pamphel, what cornerback prospects do you like to play with Jalen Johnson? Guys that I think the Bears could actually get, like they're not going to get Derek Stingley, for example. But Kyler Gordon out of Washington. I like Roger McCreary, but I think he's a nickel, and you just signed a nickel, so I don't think he makes as much sense. I think Tariq Woolen in like the third round would be interesting. He's a freak athlete out of UTSA. I know I'm missing at least one guy. Kyer Elam out of Florida, I think he would be interesting at 39 or 48 if he fell, which he could. So there's a few guys, but not the deepest corner class for sure. Make sure you subscribe, hit that big red button here on YouTube. Trying to get to 47,000 subs ASAP. Would love to get there before the draft, but we just cost $46K. Maybe by the end of the draft. Maybe that's more realistic. Hit that sub button. Daily Bears news, rumors. We're publishing content on a daily basis. A lot of the time we're doing 2 videos a day now. So tap in for that. YouTube.com/BearsNow. Time for a few more here. Lars Newman, what about veteran options for wide receiver like Julio Jones or Emmanuel Sanders? Any buzz around them? Not much. I'm open to it, though. I think in general the Bears want to go younger, but one-year deals don't really impact your future, so I'd be fine with it. Julio's obviously dealt with some injuries, so has Sanders, and he's both have declined as well. But 1 year, $5 million for one of those guys. Julio's probably going to be a little more than Sanders, but I'd be open to it. I'm definitely not shutting the door on that. I think those would be like post-draft signings. Like say the Bears don't spend a high pick on a receiver for whatever reason, then I could see them signing one of these players. Craig Ferguson, should the Bears sign Antonio Brown? Go Lions? No, and I see what you did there because you want chaos in Chicago. Absolutely not. FAB. We don't want Antonio Brown in Chicago. But you and Don Burr would love it, Craig, so I can certainly respect the hustle. Now, name a player you don't want the Bears to draft. I don't want the Bears to sign Antonio Brown, but name a player you don't want the Bears to draft. Like, maybe there's a guy that's been linked to the Bears, and you're like, yeah, I don't really like that guy. Honestly, my player, I wouldn't mind him at 48 or 71. I don't want Christian Watson with the Bears' first pick, though. I think he's got too much bust potential. He's too raw for me. I think a team that's more set right now should draft him and let him develop. I want a guy that can impact the game right away for sure. And maybe he can, but there's too much risk involved. I don't want Christian Watson at pick 39. Just my opinion, but hey, maybe you guys think differently on that front as well. Let us know who you don't want the Bears to draft. Be sure to follow us here on IG as well, at HGramNFL. I mentioned off the top of the video. Once we cross 3,000 followers, which we're close to on my account, I'll schedule another Bears Instagram Live. I would like to do one before the NFL Draft. We're about 60 followers away, so give us a follow at HGramNFL. It's at HGramNFL.